Hello and welcome back to the training. So today we're talking about training and nutrition. So how to complement your training with the right nutrition. So pre-workout, so before a workout. So these are the things you need to take in before your workout. So at least an hour before to give yourself time to digest. And this is a great opportunity for you to get some high GI foods in. So the things that are usually not great for you, you can eat before a training session because they're going to give you the energy that you need to do it. Plenty of water. Most people are in a dehydrated state most of the time. So most people are going around general life dehydrated, and they don't really know about it. So make sure you drink lots of water, plenty of water. Water also helps with weight loss, speeds up metabolic actions in your body. And just remember to be within your calorie limit. So whatever you've got your calories set as, make sure you're within that calorie limit and you don't go over that into a surplus. You want to remain in the deficit. Okay, so during a workout, so when you're actually working out, what do you need to do? So first of all, water. You need fluid because you're going to sweat most likely, so you're going to need to replace that water lost. Electrolyte drink. So electrolytes are things that replace salts and ions in your body. So when you sweat, you will you'll sweat out ions, salts, certain things that you need to replace, and electrolyte drinks. That's why they say, there was an advert going around, I think it was for Lucozade, that say they hydrate better than water. That's because water doesn't have those salts and ions that you lose during sweating. So electrolyte drink could be good. You don't really need any food during a workout. You're only exercising for an hour, so your body has ample amounts of energy stored in its muscles to exercise for an hour. Anything over an hour you can supplement with drinks, and anything over a substantial period of time, such as like marathon running, that's when you might need to take food on during a workout. But for the sessions we're doing, you don't need food. Okay, so post-workout, so what do you take after your workout? So the first thing is fluid. You want to make sure that you replace all the fluid that you lose. You don't want to be dehydrated. I'd recommend some protein. The sooner after your workout, the better. So at least 20 grams, so at least sort of a chicken breast or a couple of eggs or any source of protein where you get it from. And the sooner you do it after your workout, the quicker your body can repair itself. So there is a myth of a thing called the anabolic window, which is more for like bodybuilders and people that are trying to build muscle. That's a sort of theory that if you don't get protein in an hour after your workout or half an hour after your workout, then you'll miss this window of gains, I think they call it, which is a bit of a myth. So the only reason you take it sooner is to speed up recovery. So the longer you leave it, the longer it will take your body to recover and build back those muscle fibers that you've torn. So protein is a definite must. A small amount of carbs. So you want to replace the carbohydrates that you've used in your exercise session, but just a small amount. You don't need that much. You won't have burnt that much carbs. And also you don't want to reverse the effects of your exercise. So you don't want to burn all these calories in exercise, then take on loads and loads of carbs afterwards and put it all back on. So just a small amount of carbs to keep your energy levels high. And vegetables, yeah, definitely vegetables. Lots of fibre in those, so will keep you feeling fuller for longer. Very nutritional, so yeah, vegetables is a must too. Okay, so non-workout days. So this is quite a common one. People ask me, do I need to change my diet on days that I'm not exercising? Well, yes, I recommend that you do, because you're not getting a workout in, and so you'll need less energy. If you look at your calorie expenditure, it'll be lower on days that you're not working out. So my first recommendation would be to slightly lower your carbohydrate intake. This is because carbohydrates are an energy source, and if you're not using that energy source, we all know what it gets transformed into. And yeah, what you're thinking is right, it gets transformed into fat. So my first recommendation would be to lower your carbs slightly. So say you're having, I don't know, you've got a chicken curry, and instead of having a handful of rice, you have half a handful of rice. So there's just a little example. But yeah, so that'd be my first thing. Lower carbs because you don't need that much energy. Keep your protein high. So don't lower your protein because your body's resting, your body's recovering. It needs protein for that recovery process to build those muscles back up, to repair those muscles that you damaged. So you need protein in your diet. So I'd keep your protein levels high, or protein levels the same as what you do. And also, you should know by now that you can't really overeat on protein. It just gets excreted out of the body as wee, basically, in the form of urea. So you can't really overeat. It's not like it gets stored as fat like carbs and sugar. It's also satiating, so it fills you up for longer. So protein will stop you getting those hunger hormones. And fiber as well. So you might feel slightly hungrier on non-workout days because your body's craving food because it needs to repair. So give it that protein, give it that fiber, make you feel fuller for longer, and stop yourself from getting those hunger hormones. Okay, to summarize. So you need energy for training, so make sure you have slightly higher carbs and you can have a little bit of high GI before your training session, because you don't want your training to suffer. If you have really poor training sessions, you're not going to train very well. The amount of calories you burn in the training session is not going to be as high as it usually is, and it's sort of a spiraling circle. So make sure you have energy for training. Lower calories on non-training days, so when you're not training you don't need that much energy don't need as much as you do when you're training, so make sure they're slightly lower calories on your non-training days. And protein, can't recommend that enough. So I think I've pretty much covered everything. Hopefully I'll get you some examples of some meals, some food plans, different sources of protein, different sources of carbs that you can get, and yeah, so keep in tune to look out for those.